Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, March the 4th, 2018, time 5:59 a.m. First, say thank you to all my family, my support, for your continued encouragement, support, and continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area. I'll continue to further my education at Monroe College online. I'm pursuing my associate degree, and I'm studying business administration, construction, and marketing. And as I continue to keep my fans, my supporters, updated. As I stated on my previous video, that I took a break from going to school, going to Monroe College, but in the very near future, I'm going to continue to further my education. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do my Instagram. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, March the 4th, 2018, time 6:01 a.m. First, say thank you to all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement, support, and always put God first. We always give thanks to God for all the guidance and provided, for all the guidance and that He provides us with. And excuse me. Now, I do my Instagram video. I also do my YouTube video. I also do my Periscope video. I do my Facebook Live video. So all my fans, my supporters on Instagram, watch my YouTube video, watch my Periscope video, watch my Facebook Live video. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing my periscope. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. They're right here in the city of Memphis, in the county series in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, March the 4th, 2018, time 6:07 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement and support. Now I know it's early in Sunday morning. Excuse me. Last night, you know, I went to bed and everything, and you know, this is March with the change of weather. In the daytime now, you know, it can be warm, and then you know, at nighttime, early in the morning, it be cold. So last night, I forgot to turn the heat on. And I laid down. Forgot to turn the heat on because, you know, during the day, yesterday, Saturday, the temperature was warm in the daytime. It was like 50 in the 50s, and so we turned the heat off because it made the house hot. And last night I laid down, the heat was still off. So when I tried to wake up this morning, you know, do my video and everything, the house was cold. So I had to turn the heat on. Then had to wait about 30 minutes for the house to, you know, for the heat to start warming the house up. So my bad, my bad, everybody, my bad, you know. Sorry, but I'm still doing my video. My bad. But you know, we're gonna continue to speak out, to complain about this gang point of view. And I want to say this about this gang point of view. I want to just remind everybody, I want to get everybody a reminder. Excuse me. That when I do my videos, pretty much basically all my videos have been done in this house. In this house. And this house is paid for. This is the house I was raised in. My mom, my daddy, my dad, you know, he passed away in 2012, and you know, he passed away in 2012. But before he passed away, you know, he made provisions, and this house is paid for now. When it comes to this gang point of view, I want to remind everybody that this house is the neighborhood. In this neighborhood, the school I went to, the elementary school I went to, West Haven Elementary School, the junior high school I went to, Lanier Junior High School, the high school I went to, Fairley High School, in this neighborhood. This house is paid for. So when it comes to that gang point of view, I don't want nobody outside the country that be watching my videos, you know, to think that the gang, anti-gang, started just recently. Because for me, when I growed up, I was not in no gang. That's what I want to remind everybody of. It was, and the reason why, because the influence that I had, you know, my dad, and the influence of people, you know, that made it clear that they didn't want nobody to say that stuff to me anyway. They wanted me to be, they didn't want me to be in no gang. You understand? Because there was people who made it clear they didn't like nobody trying to make nobody be in no gang in the first place. So my family, you understand, they didn't want nobody to be around me thinking you gonna make me be in no gang. So that anti-gang stuff, it didn't just start recently. See, this is something that it's been an issue for a long time. It's been an issue for some many years. And so for me, when I grew up, like I say, elementary school, junior high school, I was not no gang member. That's the reason why. That's the reason why I was not no gang member. Because people didn't want me to be in no gang. They wanted me to walk around and not be a gang member. Because they know it was wrong. And I'm still here. I'm saying the same thing. It's wrong. And I got my dictionary, you know, the dictionary I bought from Amazon.com, Webster's Third New International Dictionary, and Oxford English Dictionary I bought from Amazon.com. Anti-gang. Now, these are some of the websites you can go to. Free logos, you know, make free logos, free anti-gang logos. And these are just a few of the websites. There are many websites. There are people all over the world that make logos. So when it comes to anti-gang logos, this is just a few of the websites. Now also, you know, when it comes to this gang point of view, now, you know, on my previous videos, I always inform everybody what the United States government as well as the state governments are doing to address this issue of gangs and all this. Now, I know time won't permit me, you know, to go into all that today, but you can watch my previous video, and you know the United States government is putting forth efforts to address this so-called gang point of view. Now, these are some words that we want to make sure we don't forget. Coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Now, I know I won't have time, you know, to go into to the Bible, but hold up there. But we know these man-made religious organizations, such as the Catholic Church and all their breakaway branches, the Church of England, the Orthodox, the Eastern Orthodox. Historically, they broke away from the Catholic Church. We know the Church of Christ. Church of Christ. Don't even waste it. That's a waste of time. Don't even waste your time. All the Protestants, all this stuff talking about denomination or non-denomination. Don't even waste. That's a waste of time. All the Protestants, such as the Calvinists, the Lutherans, the Baptists, and their breakaway church, the Church of God in Christ, the Episcopalians, the Presbyterians, the Jehovah's Witness, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Mormons, Scientology. Yeah, we don't have time. We don't have time. And then you got these groups: the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, the Black Hebrew Israelites, the Rastafarians. We know the origin. We know the source of the Moorish Science Temple. We know the source of the Nation of Islam. We know the source of the 5% Nation. We know the source of all this Black Hebrew Israelite stuff. All this. We know the origin of the Rastafarians. Because when you look at the East Coast, you see all these Jamaicans living on the East Coast. They go for all these groups. We know the source. So no matter what you say, we know the source. Everybody, including people outside this country, they know the source. And you can try to pretend like people stupid, but take my word for it. People outside this country, people in West Africa, people in East, East Central Africa, South Central Africa, people even in North Africa. You think they don't know the source of the Moorish Science Temple? Do you honestly think the people in North Africa don't? Do you honestly think the people in Saudi Arabia don't know the source of the Moorish Science Temple? Are you crazy? They talking about some Nation of Islam. And what is this nonsense you're talking about, the 5%? Do you honestly think the people in Saudi Arabia need you walking around talking about some 5% nation? Be realistic, man. And what is this nonsense you talking about, some Black Hebrew Israelite? What over there in Israel? The leader of the Ben Ami. He over there from Chicago. You think we don't know the source? Him and all these Black Hebrew. You think nobody knows the source of all this religious stuff? They're talking about the Rastafarians. Man, look, these man-made religions, or they using scriptures out the Bible. This is one of Romans chapter 16, verse 16. Salute one another with the holy kiss. The church with the suffix ES of Christ salute you. Then another scripture they use is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4. So that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix ES, churches of God, for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, let's see. we know that Saul, we've been exposing Saul. And we've been going to the book of Acts. We've been exposing Saul for lying about his conversion. You know, as you know, in Acts chapter 9, Saul was supposedly converted. He heard the voice of Jesus Christ. You understand? And he's supposed to have been converted. Saul tells about his conversion in Acts chapter 22. And being specific in Acts chapter 22, verse number 9, he lied about those men who was on the journey with him. We know in Acts chapter 9, verse number 7, those men heard the voice that was speaking to Saul, but they didn't see no man. In Acts chapter 22, verse number 9, Saul tells about his conversion. He lied. He said that the men who journeyed with him, they saw the light. They saw the light, but they didn't hear no man. They didn't hear no voice. He lied. In Acts chapter 26, verses 13 and 14, Saul recounts his conversion. He lied again. He said that I heard a voice. Well, we're not going to deny. We know he heard a voice because he answered back. Jesus Christ said, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? He said, who art thou, Lord? So we're not denying that he heard the voice. But what in Acts chapter 26, verses 13 and 14, he said he said I. He didn't mention nobody else. All he said was I heard the voice. Well, like I said, nobody's going to deny that. But he was not the only one who heard the voice of Jesus Christ. When it comes to this being a Christian, Acts chapter 11, verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch, and it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people, and the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch. We know that's a lie. Now we know that it's been addressed about his being a Christian. It was brought up in Acts chapter 15. We know you read Acts chapter 15 verses 1 all the way through to the I think it was what 50. Just read the whole chapter of Acts 15. The book of Acts chapter 15. Acts chapter 15, verse 22. That's the end of that Christian stuff. That was the end of it. like I said, when we talk about this Christian stuff, we know that the second place in the Bible, when we talk about being a Christian, Acts chapter 26, verse 28, King Agrippa said he was almost persuaded to be a Christian. We know that's a lie. That's a lie. Saul was lying. He was lying. After Acts chapter 15, and after the meeting, you see what happened in Acts chapter 15, verse 22. That was the end of that Christian stuff. That was it. And also, the third place in the Bible talking about being a Christian is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 16. If any man suffer as a Christian, you know the verse. Don't lie on Apostle Peter. Don't lie on Apostle Peter. Did not tell you to be no Christian. He did not tell you to be no Christian. He was telling you that there were people lying, going around lying. And for example, when Saul in Acts chapter 28 moved to Rome, use your common sense. It was Saul who was going around lying, and then he put a negative influence on the people in Rome, and then those Roman people started going around lying, telling people to be a Christian. For example, it was started with Saul lying, and Saul negative influence on the people in Rome. So because we know the church was in Jerusalem, nobody told Saul to go to Rome. He did that on his own. And so like I said, the Apostle Peter did not tell anybody to be a Christian. That's a lie. And also 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 15, 16, 17, and 18. The Apostle Peter exposes Saul, beloved brother Paul, all that epistle writing. He was lying. He was lying. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed apostle Paul, he was lying in those. But don't read none of his epistles. All lies. We're going to continue to talk about African traditional religion. Now, as you know, African traditional religion is being taught at institutions of higher learning, colleges and universities in sub-Saharan Africa. You can earn a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, studying African traditional religion. Now, one of the books we're going to continue to read is referred to, titled West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Omasene Valeno, Dr. P. Adanumo Depenu. Another book we're going to read and refer to is titled African Traditional Religion and Definition, written by Dr. E. Beloja Adowu. Another book we're going to continue to read and refer to is titled African Religions and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. Another book we're going to continue to read and refer to is titled Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. Now, you know we're going to go to the dictionary, but there's one thing I want to do before we go to the dictionary, because like I said, we've been talking about this gang point of view. We know we're going to continue to speak out and complain. It's going to lead to demonstration, anti-gang demonstration, anti-gang protest. And we've been talking about this East Coast and how this gang point of view is based in the East Coast. You know, they go to the slavery issue, and you know, all this stuff. I've been making sure that we talk about words like gang, that's German, thug, that's Indian, Goon, that's English, German. Boss, that's Dutch, German. And all these other words, pimp, player, whore, and I mean, you know, hoodlum, and you know, it's all kind of words. Mac, it's all street slang, all this nonsense number street slang. And you know, when we talk about the slavery issue, in the African slave, Niger Congo, mainly Niger Congo, the majority Niger Congo brought to the East Coast, but there were other slave ports in the United States. There was the state of Mississippi, the state of Louisiana, the city of New Orleans, slave port, the state of Texas, the city of Galveston, slave port. Veracruz, Mexico, was a slave port. And you know, excuse me, this whole thing about this gang point of view, you know, and being based, you know, on the East Coast and everything, all this going up and down the East Coast. And then, you know, you have these celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers. You know, they don't just be here in the United States of America. They'll leave the United States of America, and then they'll go outside this country. They'll go outside the country. And so that's one of the reasons why I was, you know, showing you the maps of people that live such as in Eastern Europe. Because when we be hearing these words, the words you be hearing, all this mob, which is an abbreviation, Latin, and gang, that's German. That's what you hear. You hear German and Latin, but you don't hear anything from no Eastern Europe. So, you know, when we address this issue, and one Indian word, thug, you know, we go, you know, we identify the source of this issue, and so that's you know, just like let me pull this up here. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure I talk about this one thing here. Now, I want to continue to, now, to talk about my DNA for a reason. There are people all over the world. And here, I'm here in the United States, like I said, I've been making my videos in you know, like 2017. You know, it's 2018, so I really just didn't talk about the DNA, but people been seeing my videos, been seeing that in all my previous videos. Now, I'm gonna say this: in 2000, I got my DNA done in 2016, at the end of 2016, and if I ain't mistaken, I think I like mentioned it that I got my DNA, but I didn't mention the results. But I know I got my results, and then, see, this also has something to do with this gang point of view. So like I say, there are people all over the world who watch my videos. People watch my Periscope video. People watch my Facebook Live video. People watch my YouTube video. They watch my Instagram video. And you know, my DNA came back African 69%, European 29%. Then trace results: Northeast Asia 1%, North and Central America 2%. And being more than break it down: West African 61%, East Central African 6%, South Central African 2%, European, British Isles 18%, Eastern Europe 7%, Iberian Peninsula 4%. But like I say, that their trace was up. That Northeast Asia, that's what I want, and that North and Central America, that 2% North and Central America, that Northeast Asia, I did some research, and so like I said, I did some research, and when I was looking at the map, you know, they pretty much showed, they identified that there was some DNA in this area, in that north, and when they said Northeast Asia, and when I looked around Northeast Asia, that's where the map showed. It was in this area. It was in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. And like I say, family tree DNA, they found 1% Northeast Asian DNA. That's where it was at. So when we talk about Xinjiang, North Xinjiang, you know, that's Izangaria, you know, the Tibetan Buddhists. Now South Xinjiang, that's Tarim Basin, the Turkic Uyghur people. They are the predominant in that area there. Now the Han Chinese, you know, they are in Xinjiang. Now, when you talk about the history of China, when you talk about the history of China, and when you talk about the history of this region, the Xinjiang region, there were Indo-Europeans and Indo-Iranians living in the Xinjiang region, and also the Turkic Uyghur people were also living. They intermarried. They intermixed with each other. The Indo-European Tocharians, they intermixed with the Turkic Uyghur people. Now also the Indo-Iranian people that, like I said, they were also living in Xinjiang region. So like I said, I did some research. And as you know, the Turkic people, they are Altaic. you know, when it comes to the linguistic classification, the Uyghur people, they are classified as being Turkic, and they speak the Turkic language. Now, let's go to the dictionary. Now, you know, the prefixes and suffixes, root words, they are in Webster's Third New International Dictionary. They are also in Oxford English Dictionary. Now, I show my dictionary, you know, I make sure I present the dictionary. We know about these gang videos in Chicago, Illinois, them gang videos in Los Angeles, California. And that's the reason why I make sure I show the dictionary. definition and meaning of the word gang. Webster's Third New International Dictionary. Gang, the act, manner, or means of going. Mobile. Mob. Now, the stupid sorority and the stupid fraternity, this sister. the sun out. Now I was saying, it's morning, I see the sun shining bright. Okay, now, Oxford English Dictionary, the complete definition and meaning of the word gang. Gang, it means action or mode of going, way, passage, also a set of things or persons. Mobile mob. Again, these are free logo websites for anti-gang logos. Get ready to end today's video. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, in the state of Tennessee. I thank all my fans, my support, for your continued encouragement and support. And always put God first. And take care of yourself. Wish each and every one of you the very best.